What up, YouTube? This is your boy Big Al with another video here. What we're doing here, guys, is we're doing a practice run, but we're gonna build this into a tutorial. This was a practice run for a competition I'm doing this month. It is a undercut razor fade. So what I'm doing right here, first of all, is I'm knocking out all the bulk. You see that I'm creating my first guideline with my balder. I've said it once, I've said it twice, guys. Get yourself a balder. It's quick, efficient, and it's fast. Knocks out all the bulk down immediately. The barber battle that I'm doing is razor fade and beard trim. So it's going to be a competition, 50 minutes. Best fade and beard wins. So right here I'm starting off with my 1.5 and I'm going all the way up to pretty much the part line. As I go across, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my lever and I'm going to hit it with a 1. Prepare myself for the next step. Since I went up with a 1.5, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my clipper over comb and I'm just going to blend in that 1.5 to the part. This undercut's already been pre-set up, so it's kind of like a comb over undercut, but he kicks it all back. He could get a hard line right there, but he doesn't. Keeping that blend all nice right there with the clipper over comb, just blending it all up. Next step right here is going to be to grab my number 1.5 and I'm just blending it all back up, going up 1.5, closing the lever. Now I'm just going to hit it with a 1. Next step is grab my machine, no guard on, lever all the way up, and I'm going to go up about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Then I'm going to lower it 1/4 of the way and go all the way across again. Then lower it 1 more 1/4 again. Then I'm going to go up halfway this time, all the way across. Then I'm going to lower my lever all the way close and just tap the bottom line and rake it. The next step is for me to grab my T outliner. And what I'm going to do is just rake that bottom line. Go all the way across, nice and easy. As you can see, while I'm going across, the line just erases real simply. Now you see that little secondary line right there I just pointed to? Now you're going to grab your machine, halfway open, and you're just going to go gradually up to that same line. Just raking it, going up to the half where we originally started that fade. The next step is to grab my half clip, lever open, and we're going to go right up to where we went with a 1.5. Just gradually raking the center shadow. As I go across, now I'm going to lower my lever 1/4 of the way and I'm going to go back up to the same spot again. Gradually raking up. Then I'm going to lower it 1/4 of the way more and just focusing mainly on the center shadow line. Now I'm going to close it all the way. Same thing, just rake that bottom shadow. Now I'm going to open my clip halfway with no clip on machine, and I'm just going to go and erase that center shadow. Now here I'm going to grab my trimmer, going upside down, and what I'm creating again is my shadow line, right below where I got my original guideline. Now I'm just pushing the hair forward to get it out of the way, because of course when you do a undercut, you're just going to go up right up to the part line. See that I'm going right up there with the number 2, taking it right up to the part line. Number 2, and just move the hair out of the way and just go all the way up to the part line. Now I'm going to grab my 1.5, my 1 clip with the lever up, which is a 1.5. Go all the way back up to where I went with the number 2. Then I'm going to lower my lever down to a 1 and I'm going to go straight to the middle. Same spot, just kind of gradually erasing and blending down. So here now I go with no clip lever open, which is a half. I'm going all the way across. 3/4 of an inch to an inch, guys. Then I'm going to lower a quarter of the way and almost back to the same spot again. See that? All the way across. Then I'm going to lower a quarter of the way again, and I'm going to go to the center, right across to the middle, just raking it and gradually erasing. Now I'm going to lower the lever, and I'm just going to tap the bottom line very easily. Just tap the line, push it up. Whatever I don't push up, whatever I can't push up, now I'm going to grab my trimmer, and I'm going to go back right here and just hit the bottom line, raking it and pushing it up, creating that little secondary line we talked about on the other side. Here I'm going to pick up my machine, no guard on again, halfway open, and I'm going to go back to the same line we went where we started originally with a half. Same steps from the other side. Next step now is to pick up my half clip, lever open, and we're going to go back up to where we went with our 1.5. Just gradually raking the center shadow. Now I'm going to close it a quarter of the way, and again, back up to the middle. Close it one more time. Again, just hitting the center shadow. Now just focusing on the center shadow, raking it. Now I'm going to close it and go across. And again, if that doesn't work, guys, if you still see a little shadow there, then you take off your clip, halfway open, and now you're just going to hit that center shadow. See that? And it takes it right out. Ready to move on to the next step. So what we're doing here now is basically some detail work. What I'm doing is I got the half clip, and I just noticed some shadows here and there. So what I'm doing is just cleaning it all up. Just using my corner of my machine and basically just raking the shadows and bringing them all up. Right here you can see me turn the back to kind of like a little bit backtracking, just cleaning it up, making sure that there's no shadow in the middle. As you can see right there, there's a pretty good sized shadow, so I'm just raking it up and cleaning it all up. The good thing about an undercut is an undercut kind of just folds over the top and over the sides. There's really no side blend to it. It's just kind of like 3 parts: side part, back part, and the other side part. So right here I'm hitting it again with the trimmer, just creating my shadow guide that I'm gonna shave up to. Now here I go back again with my number 2, and my number 2 I'm just going to go right up to the part. Real simple. So here I go back again with my 1.5, and I'm going back up to the same spot where I went with my number 2. As I go across, then I lower my lever and I go down to a number 1, and I just hit it to the center shadow, just kind of eagerly blending it down. Now I grab my machine, no clip, and I'm gonna go right across 3/4 of an inch to an inch, guys. Lower a quarter of the way, and go back up to the same spot again. Now I'm lowering it halfway, and again I'm just dotting it right in the middle. Now I'm gonna close it and hit just the bottom line. Whatever I don't get out with that, I'm gonna grab my trimmer right here, and then I'm gonna hit the bottom line. Notice I'm just hitting it, pushing it up a little bit. Hitting that little secondary shadow, I'm just going to grab my machine with no clip, halfway open, and I'm just going to hit the little secondary line, hitting it back up to where we went with a half. Next step again now is grab my half clip, lever open, and I'm going to go back up to where I went with my 1.5. And as I'm doing that, I lower a quarter of the way and I go back, just focusing mainly on the center shadow, raking that center shadow. Closed it another quarter way, center shadow. And you can see it's all blending right in. Now I closed it all the way and I'm just focusing on the center shadow right there. Okay guys, what we're doing here now is we kind of like backtrack and do a little bit of detail work. And what I do is I grab my 1.5 and I'm just kind of pushing the shadow up. What I do is I push it up towards the part line, and then I grab my half clip, and same thing with lever open, and I'm just pushing the shadow up, just working on my fades, pretty much make sure it's all blended up properly. Right there, what I pointed at was I pointed it to my shave shadow that we created with our trimmer. And what I'm doing is I'm using my wall shaver and I'm just shaving up to my line. And what I'm doing here now is I grab my trimmer and I'm just cleaning up the hairs, because of course your shaver works better when there's no long hairs. So what I'm doing is just trimming up all the hairs. That way when I bring up my shaver, it'll roll nice and smooth. Again, guys, if you guys aren't using your shavers on everybody, then man, you gotta get to it, guys. Tapers, fades, you gotta be using your shaver. Your shaver is essential in giving a good tight fade. If you're not shaving it with a shaver, then you know what I mean. It's probably not coming out that smooth. I mean, even it comes out even smoother than with a straight razor. That's my opinion. So this competition that I'm doing is going to be at the IC 2018 in Long Beach. It's going to be fade and beard competition. So what I'm doing is I'm going to do this undercut with the beard trim and the fade, of course. It's the first time I'm competing in this category, so it should be interesting. It's 50 minutes. I think it's more than sufficient time. It took me 34 minutes to do this haircut, but that day I'll have more time, so I'll be able to do a little bit more detail, put a little bit more blade work into it, and then I'll be able to style it a little bit better too. And hopefully this beard will be a lot thicker by then too. So right here I'm just finishing up the shave part, just going up again with a trimmer, making sure that the long hairs are out, so when I shave it shaves up real nice. The next step now is to get onto the beard now. So right here, basically what I'm going to do is just line up the beard, because I'm not going to take down any of the bulk of it, because this is going to be my model like I said, for the show. So I don't want to really disturb the length. So I want it to get nice and bushy for the show, so it could really show, so it could really pop. So what I lined up is first I lined up the line along the side of the beard where the ear is, and now I'm basically just lining it up right below the chin. Once I line it up, then I work on taking down all the bulk from below the line that I just created, as you can see. You have to do this very gently, because some people are very, very sensitive right here, and you don't want to really irritate them and get them all red. So make sure that your machine's on point and try not to scrape too much right here. It's kind of just taking the little hairs off, you know? As you can see right here, I'm kind of just cleaning it up, just detailing the line, trying to get it nice and straight, get it nice and jagged, just nice and straight, so it doesn't look jagged and it's on point. You know what I mean? And then now I'm gonna move up to the top right here, and then just, as you can see, I kind of just line it up to the top. Then I go to the lip, then I go right above the lip. I don't want to take too much off. So now I move over to the other side. Same thing on the other side. So basically I'm just going to line up the side of where the ear is right there. Then I'm going to move my way to below the chin and just basically creating that first line. Again, below the neck, what I did is I just created my first guideline, and once I create that first guideline, it's kind of like a chin strap. Once I get that, then I just work my way up with the trimmer and just clean it up to the guideline. Get it in nice and even. Try not to irritate the skin too much. Just get your lines nice and straight before I start working back up to the top right there. And I work the top of the beard, then the lip once again, and above the lip. Just getting your lines on nice and straight. Again, guys, I'm not trying to do too much detail to this beard because it's just a cleanup. The actual beard trim's going to be done the day of the show, so I'm just trying to clean them up and make them sufficiently good before that day, you know. So now what I'm doing right here is I'm running my trimmer below the guideline that I made on the chin strap, just getting it nice and smooth. Try not to irritate the skin too much. I mean, it's a little red, as you can see, but it's not too bad. So now what I'm doing right here is with no clip, machine closed, and what I'm doing is I'm blending downward this time. So starting off on 0, and I open up my machine a little bit until I go to the half, and then now I grab my half clip, and what I'm doing is just blending the beard up, and blending it down so that it looks like it's fading downwards. Now I'm just hitting it with a trimmer real quick, and then back on the other side, same thing, just close machine, working my way down to the half, opening my lever easily before I grab my half clip. Same steps again, half clip, close, opening it gradually, just blending downward. Now I grab my trimmer and just knocking off the top of the line right there. Just at the same time, I'm going up and just cleaning up my fade line. So the final step here, guys, is now just to style this hair, and of course an undercut is the easiest thing to style. I mean, there's really nothing to style. What I like to do is put a little bit of Suavecito grooming spray on it right here, and that just gives it a little bit of lift. But when I blow dry it, I'm gonna blow dry it completely dry. And what I do with my blow dryer is I just kind of hit it with the heat, and I kind of just roll my brush and just basically just trying to dry it. There's really nothing to an undercut. I mean, just kind of just push the hair back, get it nice and dry. That way, I'm gonna add some pomade to it, and when I add the pomade, that's gonna be the kicker right there. Of course, when I go to the show next month, I'm gonna work a little bit harder on styling in it that day. I'm gonna take some freezing hairspray and stuff like that. That way, once I get the look that I want, I can just shoot it and it'll freeze it right there into the spot where I want it at. But an undercut is a simple haircut to style. It's very easy. As you can see, I'm just kind of just hitting it with the hot air, just getting it all nice and dry, nice and dry. What I'm using now is I'm using some Tip Top pomade. It's my go-to pomade. Put a generous amount on your hands, and basically what you do is just rubbing it through. On this one, it's okay to run your fingers through with the pomade because, like I said, it's an undercut. So I'll even pick it up, rub it all the way through. That way it's nice and gets in between all the hairs. And what you do now is just basically just comb it back. What I like to do is start on one side and comb it to the other side and just comb it towards the middle. Very simple haircut, looks clean. I didn't leave it hanging too much in the back. Gave a little bit of a tail, but not too much. That's pretty much it for this video, guys. If you guys like my channel, please subscribe. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like this video, give it a thumbs down. It's all good, guys. If you guys have any comments, leave me some comments. I'll answer as soon as I can. Keep an eye out for my vlogs I'm coming out with. I got a lot of things coming out on my channel, guys. I'm here to help. If you guys have any questions, like I said, let me know. See you guys on the next video.